two all beef patty, special sauce for the cheese, pickles, onions on a special sheet.
Now, I said Kentucky Fried Chicken. There's only one way to cook it, and that is Kentucky Fried Chicken, and that's mine.
I sit alone in my four-cornered room staring at candles. Oh, that shit is on? Let me drop some shit like this here. Real.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody, to the Bottom of the Pit podcast, where we look to the moon and swap our palettes. I am, as per usual, Mig Whoopi Goldberg, and today I have with me...
You all know who it is. It's your boy. It's your baby. It's your boy, the Snapple Grapple.
Your boy, your baby, your boy, Snapple Grapple is with me today in the booth. Thank you for coming on.
I'm happy to be here, man. This is exciting. This is so exciting. I'm on the opposite end of the stick now. This is great. This is so great.
Yeah, you're usually in front of the camera, you're usually taking center stage.
I try.
I mean, in a way, you are taking center stage, just in front of a mic with no camera.
Yeah, see, y'all can't see me right now, but I'm making faces at everybody.
Well, that's why I don't really like getting on camera that often, because I never know what to do with my face. Do I smile? Do I keep a resting bitch face? What do I do?
I feel like when I record FCTV, I just try to keep a smile on my face and, like, keep my eyebrows up. Like, you know, just, you have to give an expression that shows that you are as interested and as invested into your work as you want people to be.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's the way I look at it. I don't know if that's a good way to look at it or a bad way, but that's how I look at it personally. Like,
well, everyone's got their own methods.
I have to enjoy this to its max potential if I want other people to enjoy it to its max potential.
Right.
So I make it fun for myself. You know what I mean? So you kind of get a feel for it the more you do it.
Oh, yeah. Well, fun begets fun. You know, if you're having a good time, everyone's having a good time. And you've always been told that you light up the room. So when you're having a good time, everyone's having a good time, whether it's behind the mic, behind the camera, in person.
See, there's no camera, so you guys can't tell I'm cheesing right now. All that. I love it.
Okay, so you and I, we go back pretty far.
Yeah.
Actually,
we were in the wars together.
We went back way farther than we originally anticipated.
Oh my God, yeah, that shit was crazy. So, like, I met you, what is it now, almost 6 years ago? Yeah. Like, officially. And then we, like, 2 or 3 years after we just been damn near family, we start talking about our past and stuff and just different stories from our past, and you come out with this Boys and Girls Club story. Damn, that was around the same time I was around the Boys and Girls Club. Damn, I used to go play Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3 near the elderly place where they had all the elders. When the elders weren't there, that's when we would run the tournaments and stuff.
That's when the kids came out.
Yeah, and I never knew that the people beating me in the semis and the finals every time I joined a tournament were you guys. So that was real fun to learn. You know, who knew that I've secretly been in the same room as you guys damn near my whole childhood.
Right. So as things change, things stay the same.
Yeah, definitely.
As they say. So that was really interesting to learn, because like when you start saying stuff like that, the lines start to connect. And you're like, oh shit, that's the truth.
Yeah, that's literally everything just made sense. It was great. It was great,
and it came together. And it probably was a big factor in why there was like so much chemistry to begin with, and why it was so easy to kind of bring you on board with everything, because you do have that natural energy, and you really know how to bring people up. You know how to like boost their spirits, probably without even knowing that you do, if I had to guess.
I appreciate it, yeah. Most likely, because I hear that, I've been hearing that more and more the older I get and the more time passes, and I'm not going to be out here like, yeah, you know, I'm all the energy and I'm the most positive person on earth. You should be friends with me. But at the same time, it's like, damn, I can't deny it anymore.
Right. If everyone's
saying it, then I guess my presence does mean something to a lot of people. But no, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Well, it's always exciting, like knowing, Snapple Grapple showing up. Okay, well now the party is. Now we have something going here. We'll just
Where's the drinks?
But now we're having a good time.
Mix the drinks. Let's get it popping.
But by the time you actually came into the food chain, it had already been established. You're the first one to be inducted, post formation of the food chain, when it was just me, Carvin Chicken, the Jamaican Shake, Bonsai Wolf Burger, the Champ Special, and Pecan Swirl.
Right.
And then, you were pretty much with us the whole time. We would get together. It was always food chain, plus Lou at the time.
Right.
And then eventually we're like, let's fuck this, let's bring him into the food chain. He hypes us up. He's always here. Every get together he's always with us playing the game. Let's bring him in. Do you remember how that night went?
Oh man, so this was the food chain induction was crazy because like you felt it coming just off of everything you said. Like me personally, I could just feel it coming. I was like, damn. I keep hearing this subtle conversation thrown out there once every couple months. I feel like at some point this conversation is going to be had. And I was wrong, actually. The conversation was never had. It was just jokes here and there and, maybe, we'll see. And ha ha, he he. And then one day it was MK release night. Or was it MK release night or was it just a game night we were having?
I think it was just a game night, yeah.
I know MK was the big game. I do know that. Because we were all playing MK, we were all hype. It might have been... I don't remember. I truly don't.
Remember what game. Yeah, it might have been like a regular night, you know.
Yeah, it could have just been one of our regular nights. But in any case, we're all chilling there, and this was at your dad's house.
Yeah. It was that's back when I lived with my parents.
This at Pop's house. This is great. So we're at Pop's house, and then we're all playing games and stuff, and I'm chilling on the couch, and then out of nowhere, McWhoopie's all like, "All right, guys, I think it's time," and I'm sitting here like. Time to play. We're already playing. We've played for like 2 hours so far. I said time to eat. Is the food here? Like I was getting all excited. I'm over here trying to guess like what are you talking about? Then like it was like a scary movie. Like all right, you remember PT?
Yeah.
When you're playing PT and you go into the attic and then no wait, was it PT? One of them scary games where the mannequins look at you.
Oh, that's
Was it Resident Evil?
Resident Evil, the
demo. So remember in the demo when you walk up and they're like all just looking in one direction, and then you come back or you turn around and something and they're all staring at you?
I remember that clearly.
For one, that boosted the shit out of me. That scared the hell out of me. Two, that's what that night felt like because once you said, "All right, guys, it's time," I just see the room collectively slowly turn and face me, and I said, "Damn, either one or two things is happening right now. I'm either gonna get jumped."
Yeah, we're just gonna beat you up in front
of
you.
Or I'm like dead ass gonna get sacrificed to your pops or something. He's just gonna absorb all my youth and then learn even more about fighting because he loves the fighting stuff, and then he's just gonna be the ultimate superhero villain, whatever he wants to be.
He's secretly 500 years old.
I know, right?
We do this every
Captain Yamamoto, but yeah, man, and like they're all just looking at me, and then. You start going on about how I'm this and I'm that, and I'm just like, damn, okay. And then one by one, the entire chain starts talking about me. And I'm just like, oh, this must be what I think it is. And you play this video, and it's just this video of like a tribute to me and my gaming and time I spent with you guys. And I'm just like, damn, this is crazy. This is... There hasn't been a feeling similar to that I can remember as of right now. Like that feeling is one of the it's arguably top 3 best days of my life. So it's like, dang, that was one of the that was just it wasn't just amazing, it was just an amazing moment. Like everyone's talking you up, and then you get told, "Oh, all right, well, we want you to be part of the food chain. What's your name?" And then we begin the saga of Snapgrap choosing what the hell he wants his name to be for 2 years.
You did go through a couple in that time.
Yeah, but it was just like, damn, I knew from the jump when y'all first inducted me that I wouldn't stick to the name that I chose.
Right, okay.
Brutal Baneburger was something in the moment just to be swift and have me to a point where like, okay, I like burgers, I like Bane, and Bane is brutal. Fuck it, Triple B.
Right, Triple B Stacks.
Exactly, and then I even changed the nickname to Triple B Stacks because it was just added some flair to it, and people thought it was cute, so I rolled with it for a while. But ultimately after time, we landed on Snapple Grapple, and now I am Snapgrap FC. And I stamp that. That's on everything I have. Snapple Grapple FC is my Instagram. Romello is my Facebook, but there's food chain stuff all in that. Like Snapple Grapple everything. That's my PSN. At Snapple Grapple FC. Come play some PlayStation games with me. We out here.
We out there playing Dead by Daylight and all that fun stuff.
Facts. Shout out. All right. You know what? I'm not gonna say the name right now.
Okay. But yeah, that was a I think about that moment a lot. I still have the if I last checked, I still had that video on my PlayStation 3, unless it got wiped or something. I couldn't imagine why it would get wiped, but it's still on there, back when it was Brutal Baneburger instead of like Snapple Grapple. Right. But it was like a kind of like a pivotal moment for the group, because we've never done anything like that before.
And it's weird, man, because it's like when you meet people and like you build bonds with somebody. In my personal opinion, if I build a bond with you, it's like my ultimate goal is to look at you as family at some point.
Okay.
Like, if we don't get there, it is what it is. If we do, awesome. But when you guys inducted me into the food chain, I already felt like I was part of a family way beforehand. We spent so much time together, like weekends at a time. These game nights, our little events that we did, everything, before we actually like started blowing up and everything. So when y'all asked me to be part of the food chain, it was just like, damn, I just went from being part of a family to like, this is royalty now. Like, here's like the high council of this family.
The high council.
Like you're like you're part of the high council now. Like, come have a seat. Come have a seat at the captain's table or some shit like that. So it was, it was just amazing. It was great. It was great.
And it's kind of like, you can tell like that's like something special. Like that meant a lot to the whole crew, because that was about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, seriously.
Right? And we had just like done something similar to that not even a year ago. So there was a big gap where we just never did something like that. And we've met people who we are close to, and we haven't done that, because it's not something we hand out lightly. You don't just be like, oh, you're the food chain, you're part of the food chain, you're all food chain.
Don't get me wrong, you're McWhoopie, but you ain't throwing out prizes to everybody.
I feel that. So yeah, it was an honor at the time to bring you in, and it's still an honor to have you here.
I appreciate all of it, man.
No,
always will.
Your name is Snapple Grapple, obviously.
Yes.
We've said it a billion times. I introduced you as Snapple Grapple. Well, you introduced yourself as Snapple Grapple. Why Snapple Grapple?
Okay, so for those who don't know, one of the requirements of being in the food chain is to have your own food-related nickname. And, one of the cool things about being part of the chain is that, we let you choose your name. We'll help you out here and there if you ask for it. Some people are like, well, you just give me a nickname. But we would much prefer it coming organically from you. You choosing this. This is your special name that we're going to start calling you now, because that's what you want. And I think that's really cool. Like I said in the beginning, it was Brutal Baneburger, Triple B Stacks, that went for a while. And you guys changed my perspective on fighting games. And y'all altered my thought process when it comes to how I approach fighting games. You guys made me like fighting games. I used to never like fighting games. I was never a fighting game person. It was only like WWE. And then it was shooting. Wrestling. Yeah, it was shooting games and sports games. If it wasn't that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel
so yes, I played MK. Yes, I played Tekken. Yes, I played Street Fighter. Didn't care about any of them. When I started really hanging with you guys a lot, it was like, wow, I suck. I'm terrible. You guys are the best video game players I've ever played against in my life. You guys remind me of the guys from the Boys and Girls Club. Oh damn, look at that.
I wonder why.
But yeah, man. So as time progressed, my approach changed, and I started looking at characters differently, and I started enjoying different aspects of characters because I actually took the time to understand the game.
Right.
You guys
intricacies of it.
Right. You guys spent multiple hours, like nights at a time, breaking video games down for me and showing me how I can apply how we broke this game down to every other fighting game I played, and then how I broke that game down to any game I play at all. And it's just like, now the stuff that I do in any video game is all truly influenced by you guys. Snapple Grapple came from my passion for grappling characters in fighting games. That's something that I didn't know existed because I always played wrestling.
Yeah.
To me, wrestling, the WWE games, that was the only grappling I got, but that's where I started. So it's like, oh wow, he kind of reminds me of the wrestling. Oh damn, he wrestles. Okay, this isn't a joke. He dead ass wrestles. And then you have like submission characters, like, if you play wrestling, you have all these grapple moves. You can hit people here and there, but there's never any true like boxing and kicking and stuff like that.
It's all grapples.
It's all grapples,
submissions and slams and stuff.
And when you play grapple games like that for years at a time, and then you find these new fighting games that you suck at, but oh look, here's a grapple character. I put this input and he can do a bunch of damage with this. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, grapple characters aren't, top tier normally.
Yeah, normally they're not. I mean, there's some outliers here, but it's usually not because they're grapplers.
They're grapplers, right?
They have they can grapple, but usually it's some other aspect of them.
Right. So it's like, dang. When I started picking up these characters, I said, wow, I really, really enjoy grapple characters. I might as well change my name to like something grapple, because then Injustice came out and then Bane was a grapple character. So it's like, okay, I'm already Brutal Baneburger. He grapples. You know, I was thinking like Grapple Bane or Bane the Grabber, you know, some, you know, a bunch of dumb different names before I was just like, damn, it has to do with like food. And then I went to Wawa one day and I got a Snapple peach tea. And I said, "Hi, Snapple Grapple," and I
it was as simple as that.
From that point on, because I started thinking of Snap, Crackle, and Pop.
Oh, okay.
Then I said Snapple Grapple and Pop because I'm popping like a bone out or something.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, okay, that's lit. Then I took the pop out because I was like, I'm not about to get sued for copyright infringement.
It's kind of a mouthful.
Right. Yeah. And then that's another thing. If I just keep it to Snap Grab, people knows it's Snapple Grapple.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So it's like that's pretty much where it all came from. So I wanted that name change. You know, Brutal Baneburger I enjoyed because it was my first name.
Yeah.
Boom.
It always have a spot in your heart.
Exactly. But it was rushed. It didn't really explain much about me besides the fact that I like Bane.
Okay.
At least now, Snapple Grapple is like, damn, I'm taking that name and I'm rolling with it now. Like, people are calling me that now. So it's like, this is really something else. And, you know, the grapple applies to every fighting game I play. I always pick grab characters.
Yeah,
and
hopefully there is one.
Yeah, seriously. Hopefully. Because, damn, was there a game I played recently with one? I feel like there was. I just can't remember what it was.
Most of the big game, all the big games have at least one or two grapples.
Yeah, so like, that's pretty much the motivation behind the name change.
Okay.
And I've been sticking with it for almost 2 years now, and I really, really, really enjoy it.
Right. Well, it rolls off the tongue, and it definitely tells a lot about you just from the name Snapple Grapple. He likes Snapple, and he likes grapple.
And he likes to grapple.
So there's not a whole
Don't
like,
forget the FC.
Okay. You can't forget the FC. Food chain. Snapple Grapple food chain. Snap Grap FC. So you bring up your love for grappling characters and how you kind of stumbled upon them. You know,
right.
You liked wrestling, and
right.
you just happened to find like some characters that did wrestle, and it kind of just like piqued your interest. Now I want to ask you this. It's kind of like a very specific question. And I was going to ask you how you stumbled upon that, but you answered it for me already. Now I want to ask you, what kind of grapplers do you like tend to gravitate towards? Because there's a couple different kinds, not a whole lot. You have like your heavy grapplers, like Zangief, whose like main, game plan is to get in and hit you with like a couple of like big grabs. They just grab you and just like big damage, 20-25% sometimes. But you also have kind of like half grapplers, characters that have like maybe more like mix-up-y type of grabs. Like they have like maybe a low grab or like anti-air grab, but their main game plan isn't so much like that. Like Alex from Street Fighter. He could be under grapple. He's got a main like grounded grapple, and he's got like an anti-air grapple. But he also has other games. He's got a bunch of strikes, a lot of setup moves, all these like jump attacks. And then you have like chain grapplers, who they're usually like smaller characters. Like you can grab them, does like a small thing, and then you hit another input, and then you continue it, kind of like King.
Okay,
King
right.
Like
the links and stuff.
Yeah, like link grappling, stuff like that.
Damn, I'm gonna be honest. I would love to say all of them, because that's the real answer. If we're being honest, okay. Like one good example I can say is Vigoroth. No, not Vigoroth. That's a damn Pokemon. Damn, the dude from Soul Calibur. Astaroth. He is who I consider. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't play the game and I haven't opened them up. But the moves I know are just simple. Well, not simple, but they're just swift, heavy grab moves.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any links from him, and he doesn't. He hits slow. So it's like if you're not grabbing them, you're at a huge disadvantage. You know what I mean?
No, I feel that.
Because at least you eat a bunch of hits and then you grab them one time or two times, bam. All right, let's get some of that damage back. Let me give it to you now. You was over here poking me. Take this grab. Take that.
Right, like for a big hit.
Right. So, like, those are awesome, but I don't like those kind of characters off the strength that sometimes it becomes too hard to win.
Yeah, when
you know what I mean?
They're so streamlined.
Right, because if like, one of the things I'll say is, like, if I choose a character like Bane in Injustice, right, and I'm going up against, like, Dr. Fate or Deadshot or, one of them heavy zoners, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, damn, yes, Bane is a character that's probably not the best option to pick for this example because he has the armor. Yeah, but it's like, damn, let's remove the armor, or even let's just say he has armor against somebody that's like that shot. A quick pop, pop, pop.
Or if it's like Injustice 1 Bane, who didn't have all that armor.
Yeah, so literally just any projectile stopping you right in your tracks. The only way I can get in is that charge. You know what I mean? Or I can keep trying to jump, but all you gotta do is catch me. Then I'm all the way across the field again. So seeing characters like my number one probably favorite grapple character is probably Dragunov. Off the strength that I don't know if he's considered one or not.
I would call him one of those like half grapplers.
Right, and when you were talking about the half grapplers, I immediately thought of Dragunov because I'm like, damn, that's him. He has quick chain links and everything. Like, he is one of those characters that if I wanted to get up in your face and like box with you real quick because you want to try to outpoke me, cool, I can do that. But as soon as I start getting into my flow and I get comfortable and I see how you fight and I know how to counter you, that's where all my grabs come back in because that's where I fall in love with fighting or the characters in fighting games. Seeing the animations of them grabbing and, the slam and, the impact that you get from a grapple character when they do one of their moves, just the quick slam or a big-ass throw that knocks them into something or, one of those like Kano where he picks you up by your neck and stabs you in your stomach twice before he cracks you. You know what I mean?
Right, some savage stuff.
Right, like all that savage shit. It's just, to me, when you get grabbed, it's so much more... I'm in your face now because in real life I don't like weapons. Like I'm not a fan of guns. I'm not a fan of knives and stuff. Like I have what I have to protect myself. But when it comes to fighting, I enjoy like being as up close and personal as I can get.
Using the weapons you were born with.
Exactly. So it's like, damn. When I see these characters do that, they're like super strong. They're doing that. So it's just like, it's always just been so cool to me. Plus, playing nothing but wrestling games my entire childhood. Being a huge fan of wrestling my entire childhood, anything that deals with wrestling, I'm immediately attracted to it. You know what I mean?
So it's kind of like a deep seated love for wrestling and grappling.
It's almost a nurture. Like the older I get, the more I think about where my interests come from. Like, this is you're right. Like a quick side note, how Blastoise is my favorite Pokemon. I love turtles. I never understood why I love turtles. And my aunt passed away 2 years ago. And all these memories from when I was a kid started coming back at her funeral. And I remembered she had a turtle when I was a baby. And this turtle used to... I'd pull his little Joan over here and he'd watch Pokemon with me.
Okay.
And it's like, damn, that's probably has a big impact as to why I like turtles so much.
Right. It kind of all comes together.
Right. And then you have my uncles and stuff who only ever played wrestling games with me. So to bond with my uncles, I played wrestling games my entire childhood. If it wasn't a wrestling game, it was Madden or Def Jam. So it was like... That was it. 90% of my time was, or like 60% of my time was wrestling games, 20% Madden, 20% Def Jam, and then that was all I was really playing growing up, and a couple Star Wars games here and there. But playing these wrestling games, it's like, damn, this is 100% all you do. I'm watching wrestling every Monday, every Friday. Then they switched it, every Thursday. Then they switched it to every Friday, and then like, I'm keeping up with all the news and all that stuff. Like my whole childhood was wrestling. So I feel like that had a very, very big impact on why I enjoy grapple characters as much as I do.
Okay, that's really interesting. Like, because do you think maybe when you think about, the grappling characters you use and how that connects to your past, like as a fan of wrestling, it kind of takes you back to maybe a simpler time where things were just wrestling and turtles.
Honestly, yeah, man. I'm mad that hit me as late as it did. But yeah, man, I truly think it does. I think it just gives me that like everlasting nostalgia.
Right, and everyone likes nostalgia.
And I'm not gonna lie, one thing I was notorious for when I was younger, when you guys first met me, was my gamer rage. Mm-hmm. And I feel like when I started using wrestling and grapple characters, it started going down. Because, I still game rage. A lot of people still do. I'll still rage quit. Like, man, fuck this. Whatever. I won't rage quit on you guys. But, like, if I'm on an online game and I'm just not for it today, I'll be like, whatever, man. Fuck this game.
I feel that.
But, like, I feel like just being, like, seeing the stuff that I like so much, that feeling of nostalgia, just like, damn, this is all here. It does take me back. And I think that probably does have a big impact on why I enjoy those characters so much. Like, I truly get disappointed when grapple characters aren't in a game, or if the ones I used to play with aren't returning, because then it's like, damn, you're switching up the character now.
Yeah.
We never know what kind of grapples he has. He could have some weak shit. Or well, not weak shit, but like some whack shit, where it's like, oh, he can only grapple if he counters you. Well, that's whack.
It could happen, and it happens sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Kano had them 2 or 3 big grapple moves that were all counter based.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
He did. He had that whole variation.
Mm-hmm.
And it was yellow too.
Yeah, I know, right? That killed me.
You're a fan of the color yellow.
Commando Kano, bro. What? Oh my god. In any case, but yeah, man, that's yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you that might have a huge impact on why it hits me so hard.
Nice, man. Well, it's always good like to know what kind of characters you like, what kind of characters to look for.
Right.
Because if they don't show up, like, why even play the game?
Seriously.
Right? If you're a fan of grappling characters, but everyone in the game's a rushdown character, like, what's the point of playing?
Another thing I will say is, I know one big issue I had when I first started, like, really getting into these fighting games, like, okay, I'm part of the food chain now. Let me really start taking this shit seriously. Because we might have to compete one day. You never know. You know, I don't care if I'm the weakest link. If they can't beat me, I'm doing good. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I've always hated was mirror matches.
Oh, yeah.
And when you're part of a group of friends who all play video games in the same room together, a lot of the times we'll be using the same character. So I tried my hardest to, process of elimination, who's not being used, who does no one really care about. I'm going to go after that person. Damn, no one in the food chain really likes this guy because he grabs too much. I like grabs. I love grabs. Let me check him out. Oh, yeah, if you press this, he does this. Oh, word. I press that. Some cool-ass move comes out. Solid. He's mine. Bet. We here. We out here. Let's go. Round 1. Fight.
Sometimes all it takes is one move to make someone fall in love with the character.
Oh, absolutely. Like, when I started picking up Ryu in Smash.
Oh, yeah.
You know what move brought me to Ryu?
Which one?
The fucking side thrust kick.
Oh, just the donkey kick?
Yeah, his shoot. Bow! That thing. Because he, as a martial arts fan, it's such a very well animated, like, depiction of the actual kick.
Side thrust.
It just looks so good. But in any case, we can continue. I'm not going to keep getting off track.
You should see in Street Fighter 3 where it debuted. It looks
oh, really?
Yeah, EX, it bounces them off the wall.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh man, I'm so mad I never played Street Fighter like that growing up.
Yeah, it's a good move. I mean, I wouldn't pick up Street Fighter just because Ryu's got a donkey kick, because you still have the the rest of the characters to work with. It's not his best move, unfortunately.
I will trade in my PlayStation right now just to get that game.
Street Fighter 3?
Yes.
You don't have to trade in your PlayStation. It's on PlayStation 3. I have it on my PlayStation.
I'm gonna get it somehow.
But that's interesting, man. Because I mean, that's the truth. I mean, everyone's got their character, and there's no like real, like definitive way to just like, in my opinion, you don't just choose what kind of character you like. Unless you're trying to go pro and you just pick the best character, then it doesn't really matter what kind of character you like to play.
Well, then that takes the fun out of it, in my opinion, because now you're just appealing to a meta opposed to what you like about the game.
Unfortunately, but I feel like everyone's like favorite characters kind of goes back to when they were young,
right?
And how they were raised and everything they've experienced,
right?
And it kind of forms within them on what kind of characters they like to use,
right?
Like I like to use like really like kind of strange and out there characters,
right?
You like the big heavy grapplers, and everyone else has got their things. Our Bonsai Wolfburger likes the jumpy characters that bounce off the walls,
right?
Dill likes the really cool edgy type of characters that you make it shake, and everyone else. I don't have all day. I mean, I do actually.
I was about to say, yeah, man, you're good. Like Pecan Swirl, he's another grapple user.
Yeah, he does like a. Sometimes.
So it was real fun, like working with him, because he was teaching me a lot about certain characters.
Oh, when you were trying to use King.
When I tried to pick King up, because we were back in Tekken heavy, when Tekken 7 came out, and he was was with it. He like encouraged me to do it.
Yeah.
Like he's like, yeah, do that shit. And
he's very old school.
Yeah, I love that guy. Love that guy. But yeah, man, like those are probably like the two biggest things that went into my decision making. For, and I can't even really call it decision making. Like, yeah, I like regular characters too. Like, I still love playing with Raiden.
Yeah.
And, I still pick up Steve here and there. You know what I'm saying? On Tekken, whenever we play Tekken. So it's like, I use a lot of other characters. And even in like Dragon Ball FighterZ. I know it's not the best game to compare, but I was heavy with 16. He was like a big grapple character.
He was the only grapple character, really.
True. Everyone had like slight moves here and there, but that was about it. But yeah, man, and like I still pick up other characters. Like we have our main 3 characters we fluctuate between and stuff.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3. But the way we do it, at least in the food chain, and it's kind of like softened up a little bit now. Everyone's kind of busy and everyone just kind of like plays.
Yeah.
When they had the time.
Right.
But a couple years ago, the way it was is everyone had their mains and they weren't allowed to overlap.
Right.
Like, you use Commando, Kano, and MKX. The rest of us were just not allowed to use Commando, Kano. That's just it.
Right.
So there was kind of a diversity in, what everyone plays, and I think that's why we, kind of got so strong as players. We weren't just mirror matching, like you said.
Right, and it's like, damn,
mirror matching.
You're just going to keep getting used to playing Scorpion versus Scorpion.
Yeah, and no one likes that.
When someone walks up with a Shao Kahn, you're going to be like, shit.
I don't know how to fight Shao Kahn.
Damn, why isn't Shao Kahn doing a shadow kick? Where's the spear, Shao Kahn? Like,
weird. Well, I mean, he's got a spear. But it ain't no rope.
Yeah, not no chain spear. Get over here. Shao Kahn be like, and that's it.
Right. Javelin.
Yeah, just throw a javelin from across the world and shit.
Peace. Okay, well, that's interesting. Sorry, everyone. I've got the sniffle, so if you hear me like sniffing and it's kind of gross, I'm so sorry.
The infection begins with this podcast, I swear.
Sorry, everybody. Okay, well, moving on, right, to our next topic at hand. We have a particular series that we bond heavy over, like very heavy, more than Tekken.
Facts.
More than MK, more than Street Fighter. And it's honestly personally one of my favorite games.
It is my favorite game.
And some people, they might struggle to like put it as a fighting game, but I don't know, I think it's
No, it is 100%, whether it's a fighting adventure game.
Yeah, kinda. I would call it a fighting game.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call it an adventure game because you don't go anywhere.
Yeah, you don't travel.
You just jump from screen to screen.
You just fight, and that's the
Let's
Def
be
Jam
real.
series.
Yeah, Def Jam. Oh man, the Def Jam series was amazing. I feel like they dropped the ball a little bit with Icon.
Yeah, well, they dropped the ball big time with Icon.
Yeah, I didn't play Icon. I just heard a lot about it, and I'm like, damn, I'm glad I didn't play Icon.
Yeah, it doesn't feel anything like Def Jam. It's not like an extension of Def Jam Fight for New York like people wanted.
It seems like a weird spin-off.
It was. Me and Jamaican Shay, we talk about it sometimes, and the way, like, Def Jam Fight for New York and Icon compare, it's like, Icon is rappers who can fight, right? Mm-hmm. And Fight for New York are fighters who rap. It's like backwards.
That's interesting. I like that. Yeah. That's how the games are played for real. Yeah, that's how the games are played.
Well, because
it's like all these rappers have a secret life out.
Yeah, where they're actually
out here in the streets fighting and shit. And then in Icon, it just seemed like, all right, we're about to drop this mixtape. Oh, he just came in my studio. Attack him now.
Yeah. Now like, and there's only like 5 styles, but you couldn't mix and match them like you could on Fight for New York. So it was just like the basic.
Mix 3 different fucking styles, man.
Yeah, Fight for New York was really fantastic.
It had such a versatile customization for such an old game.
And the way I always like describe Def Jam, like there's Vendetta, but Vendetta was great. Don't get me wrong; it was like a breath of fresh air. That didn't really make any sense. It's like this is a wrestling game, and rappers are the characters you play as like famous rappers.
Joe Budden's out here power bombing people and choke slamming people and
like Method Man and Redman.
Redman.
And then Nori and Capone and like
seriously,
like, why? Like that's a big like why? But for some reason, and I kind of understand it this way. Rap and fighting games have kind of had this kind of like bond, and I don't quite understand why. I welcome it. Don't get me wrong.
I would assume it's the grittiness, honestly.
The grittiness?
Like when you look at a fighting game and how gritty it is, and then you put like the right
gritty.
Yeah, and you put like I'm sorry, slang, but you put like the right hip hop beat to it, the scene just pops so much more.
And I'm totally with that.
Think about it. Like if there's not like even in movies and like films. Lately, they've been putting a lot of rap songs as like the soundtrack to some crazy action scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, that used to be just, I was gonna say acoustics. I don't think that's the right word. Yeah. It was just instrumentals, really.
Or like a heavy rock song.
Yeah, or like a heavy like metal song where like there's a lot of bass and just all that good stuff, and it's like, well, we went from that to okay, now we're entering in songs about Method Man rapping about how he's gonna break some nigga's face in, and it's like, damn, facts. Like whoever I'm fighting is about to get their face broken in. Like fuck all that.
As you play as Method.
As you play as Method Man, breaking some dude's face in.
So it's like a documentary.
Seriously, truly, it's like an autobiography. If I'm being honest, because he's telling you what you're about to do in the game
from the point of view.
From the point of view of Method Man, but yeah, so. I'd have to agree, man. I think hip hop music and fighting do go hand in hand, but I would hate to say that on like the news because like that would be flipped so terribly.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
I don't want people to think anything bad when I say that. I just mean like if I'm ever about to fight, I know if I wanted to play music, I'd play some hip hop music. I know that for a fact. I don't know what you guys would play. I know my brother would play a lot of like slow singy songs that sound like you would listen to it while the rain drops and you're staring out your window. But he for some reason he wants to murder people to it. So cool.
To each their own.
Seriously. But for me it's like, you put on a tough beat and I'm just listening to this rapper flow. Like I'm like Killer B for real. I'm out here fucking people up while there's rap lyrics going on in my head.
Sometimes rapping it yourself.
Exactly.
But the Def Jam series, in every sense of word, at least Fight for New York, that's one I really want to focus on because
it's the best one.
That's like a wrestling game. Like you can get someone's health all the way down and they won't die.
Right.
Until you hit them with the big move.
Right.
And kind of the same with Fight for New York and Icon. We'll just leave that alone.
Well, I feel like Fight for New York only did that because that was one of the most exciting things about the game. How you finish someone.
True. Yeah.
So one, I feel like they always wanted to give you the opportunity to use your blazing. So they would keep the person in danger so that you could use that tweaking ass move that they spent so much time putting hundreds of them in there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it's like, damn, if we can just make them, because it's like, I have this game on my mobile phone that I play now. It has like a couple of notches. You have like your different levels. Level 1, 2, 3, ultra.
Yeah.
You get one ultra that whole game.
Oh damn.
Throughout the whole 5-minute map that you go through. You're fighting. You use your ultra. And you're still fighting because you killed one person that probably required it. On Def Jam, if I'm playing free for all, I could whoop somebody's ass until I get my blazing, kill them knock them out with my blazing, then fight somebody else that's left until I get another blazing and then beat them with that blazing. Like, I would have to say it would just be because they spent so much time on the KO animations.
Yeah, and all the KO methods too.
Right.
A ton.
There's so many different ways to hurt people. It's like, why waste time just punching him until he's done? Like, look, throw him up against the wall, crack his head into the fucking wall. Oh, look, if he's dizzy from you just beating him up so much, you can jump on his turnbuckle and crack his ass off the turnbuckle.
And that's a KO as well.
That's a KO. You could throw him on the turnbuckle and throw him off the turnbuckle, and that's a KO.
Right.
So it's like, you have so many different variations and aspects of this game that it's like, yeah, don't just kill him. Don't allow them to just punch, shin kick.
Right. And then they fall. That's game over.
Exactly. No, you could have 1% health for 30 minutes if I wanted you to, and I'm gonna just keep whooping you.
True.
Until I get my blazing.
And then
I'm gonna do a special move on you. No, it doesn't take 30 minutes to get your blazing, people. It takes anywhere from like 30 seconds to 45, if we're being honest.
It depends on the character, really.
Yeah, seriously. 3 power punches from my original created character when the game first came out got my blazing. So I was killing people in 3 or 4 moves.
Well, the characters, they also had stats.
Yeah, absolutely.
Their punch, kick,
and that's another
health,
thing. You like grew
like
with your character.
Yeah.
Oh, that game is so fucking good, bro.
And just going by the base roster, you can kind of choose your character depending on how you play. If you're not like a rap fan, obviously I'm a big Ghostface Killah fan, and Ghostface Killah's in the game, so I'm a Ghostface Killah main. You know what I mean?
Right. That rhymed too.
Yes, that was a bar.
See?
You can take that Ghostface.
Fighting and rap go hand in hand. So no.
But if you're not a fan of rap, you don't really know any of these rappers, but you like to punch things, right? You just like, I like characters I can punch. You can look through the characters, look at their stats, see who has like high punch, and you can ignore the ones that have like high kick. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, yeah. I know exactly what you mean. As far as the thing goes, going back to my motivation or for the grapple characters. I mean, when I first started playing Tekken, I used Steve. Yeah. And I didn't play with Steve throughout my years in Tekken. Oh, I just love Steve because I played with him in Tekken 3. No. Or Tekken 5, I think he was introduced or something. 4. But I see this new Tekken game and I'm just like, damn, look at all these characters. I see this dude with boxing gloves on. Of course I'm going to give him a try. I'm a fighter. Like, that attracted me immediately. Granted, Steve didn't stay my main. He's my third now. But that point was still there. Right. I feel like if Steve had them stats, his punching would be high as shit, and his kicking would probably be at a 0.
Well, yeah, he has like 1 kick.
As well as Balrog. But, yeah, man, Def Jam Fight for New York, it was just... it really gave you what you wanted out of a fighting game.
Pretty much, yeah. Especially
the
if
story
you want,
was great.
Like a pro fighter.
Yeah. The in-game. I want to say in-game application, but I don't know if that's the right term for it.
Well, it depends on what you're trying to say.
Excuse me. Just like all the things that you can do in the game.
Okay, yeah.
Just everything that it gave you. And for some reason, I know there's a lot of good games out there, but just Def Jam is just, it's at the top, man. It's just, it was ahead of its time.
It kind of was. And I liked it because it painted like a picture. It was like a strange world where everyone kind of like the Yakuza series. I don't know if you ever played like the Yakuza.
I didn't play it, but I hear a lot about it.
Yeah, it's where everyone, no matter what the situation is, handles things with their fists, right?
Right.
And if someone pulls out a gun, it's like way out of left field, and no one like reacts well to it. It's
Okay.
like, oh, you pulled out a gun? Oh.
You're such a...
Okay,
You're
pulled a
such
gun.
a little punk.
Like, spoiler alerts, when at the end of the game, when, Busta Rhymes has got a... that's a weird sentence. When Busta Rhymes has got a...
Yeah, when Busta Rhymes got the strap.
he's got the Roscoe to your head.
Straight at your dome piece, and Snoop Dogg's like, kill this nigga. And he's just like, hey, yo, you know what? Fuck all that. And he throws the gun.
Yeah, like
I
that.
loved it. Yo, Busta, you're my favorite, bro.
But it's cool the way they frame those, because there's only 2 instances in the story where a gun comes into play. Like the first time where Danny Trejo, another weird sentence where Danny Trejo, who's just playing Danny Trejo. It's not like a character; it's Danny Trejo.
That's another thing I loved about the game. It was like all of them as them.
Yeah, and they didn't even try. Like, some characters had nicknames, but it was always names they took as rappers anyway.
Yeah.
Like sometimes Busta Rhymes went by Magic, and his
Right.
name was Magic. A lot of times Method Man went by Blaze.
And Redman went by
Johnny
Doc.
Blaze, yeah, and Redman went by Doc, and just they're just playing themselves, no matter like how you try to look at it.
Right.
But going back to the gun thing, and it was always framed like guns weren't allowed. You handle things with your fists, or you didn't handle it at all. You get out of this world. You don't belong in the underworld if you can't fight.
Right.
And I always liked that world. It kind of built up that world. It was a little silly.
It's just a lot, because it's like, damn, when you don't have a weapon that can kill someone instantly, it creates such good storytelling, because it gives an opportunity for like shit tons of character development.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Puts
You know
them
what I mean?
in like face-to-face scenarios.
Yeah, where it's like, damn, I'm either gonna get better, or I'm gonna quit this fighting thing entirely and go work at retail.
Go work it.
You know what I mean?
But why do you think like Def Jam like worked so well? Because it's consistently on like top 10 best PS2 games of all time. Like best PS2, which has a myriad of great games. It's always on top 10s.
It's just such a... Nobody had seen anything like Def Jam. The closest we got were like... I don't know, because all these fighting games have powers and stuff.
Yeah.
Def Jam like made everything so realistic.
So great.
And you also have to remember, it's like, damn, and this is no offense to anybody out there, but like Def Jam was also supposed to be like a story about the hood.
Kind of, yeah.
Like, yes, it was in that universe where it was a lot more fighting than shooting, but it was like, damn, we still in the hood for real. Like, these niggas are dead ass fighting to survive. Your luxury apartment isn't a luxury apartment. You just have luxury shit in there.
Yeah.
That is a trap house apartment. It's nothing but brick walls and a flat screen TV. Drugs are sold out there.
It's the truth, though. It's the truth.
But yeah, man, and it was just like, damn. You even see it at the end, like the end fight scene, like right before you confront Snoop Dogg. Ha. But
right before you go and fight Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, no, yeah, right. Isn't that crazy to think about? Like you can go dead ass like run up on Snoop Dogg with his sword cane. Yes, yeah. Also, Snoop Dogg has a sword cane. And he's fucking you up. He's like the best fighter in that game. He's the only fighter in that game with a power punch and a power kick. If you're not a kickboxer,
I think he's the only one with a standing power kick. I
Is
don't think anyone else can KO with just like a standing kick. Everyone can like do a jump
Yeah,
kick off the wall.
I don't think so either.
He's got like a KO kick.
Karate people can if they. Oh yeah, the jump off the wall. You just said that.
Yeah.
My
I think
bad.
his jump kick, like just where he jumps in the air and kicks like off the ground. I think that's a KO.
Yeah. That might be the only one, because I've seriously had people kill me off of that dumb stuff, like it was nothing, and I got so mad. I always hated Snoop Dogg's character. Snoop, you're lit, but your character was annoying as fucking Def Jam. But in any case,
I'm sorry, I cut you off.
no, you're good. But like, one, familiarity.
Okay.
Instantly, you see just a bunch of names you recognize. especially if you're from the hood, because these are all niggas that you grew up listening to. Another thing, if you are, what do they call us? What do they call us? What do they call 90s babies? I can't remember. Millennials.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're in the, the millennial category like we are, a lot of what we talk about when it comes to rap is, man, 90s, I'm on 80s rap, I'm on 90s rap, early 2000s rap. All them niggas are in this game.
Yeah, that's a primary.
Like 80% of the popular rappers.
Right, you got like Bone Crusher and David Banner, like Elephant Man.
Like you have Sean Paul's in there.
Yeah, Sean Paul, I forgot about Sean Paul.
You have DJ Bless who's in there.
DJ Bless.
And then you have you have Slick Rick who's in there.
Slick Rick.
That blew my mind.
He's a classic.
That blew my mind. When I tell you, when I saw Slick Rick, I lost it because he was on the back of the case.
Yeah.
He was just sitting there like this on the back of the case. I said, "Hold on, is that MC Ricky D? Like what?" But yeah, man. Like I feel like the first and foremost thing is just the familiarity. 2, along with being familiar, the concept of New York. This is called Fight for New York.
Yeah.
Off rip, everybody in New York is like, "Oh, word."
Yeah, it's easy. It's like
I run New York. What's up? I'm about to run New York in this game too. You know what I mean? Like, and then you're in New York, so you're promoting New York. You're promoting the projects in New York. You're promoting in a legal way to make money that's not drugs.
Yeah, I think that's a point that people don't even think about until I never thought about it until now. It's like, yeah, these people make a lot of money and all they do is fight. This is underground fighting area. They
literally fight and they pay people to come watch their fight. It's underground fighting. That's all it is. Like people actually do this in real life, but they can never get it sanctioned because it's like, damn, we're in competition with people like Bellator, Ultimate Fighter, Meta something MMA or whatever it's called. I can't remember all of them. There's so many.
There's a lot of them out there.
But there's a lot, and it's like, damn, there's a lot of shit you have to do to be like a sanctioned fighting thing. There is no underground without getting locked up, and you see that in game. You see people get locked up in game. At the end of Def Jam Vendetta, when you beat D-Mob, he gets locked up.
Yeah.
And then you start 2 with breaking him out of jail. Or before you break him out the cop car. So you're doing illegal shit, and it's like a whole different take because it's like, damn, it shows you a struggle from a different perspective. It's like, the hood isn't all about drugs.
Yeah, yeah.
But we are about doing what we need to do to survive.
At all times.
And I think that's one of the best things that game represented. You have a game that before it was cool to target minorities, it targeted minorities.
Yeah, I mean, not to bring race into it, but most of the cast was African American.
Absolutely. And I mean, if people get offended by the race topic, I don't really know what to say, but it's just like, damn, let's look at where we are in society now. People push so hard to get black characters into stuff. Take us back to 2006.
Yeah,
Def Jam got black characters. What's up?
A lot of black characters.
You know what I mean? Even Vendetta back in 2001. So it was like, dang, these drones are just. Oh wait, no, Vendetta wasn't 01. I think it was 04.
I say 01 is a long way back.
Yeah, Spider-Man's 01. I'm bugging. Well, the movie at least.
The movie.
But yeah, man, it was just like, dang, these are all things that really just I see this game and I just loved it, and that's before I even started playing.
Yeah.
I popped the game in. I see the opening video where you free him from the cop thing, and I was just like, oh wow, they let you create your own character. Character customization is huge.
It is.
And it's
time.
It's getting bigger. It wasn't that big back then.
No.
But it was always there. It was a lot more apparent in older games than it was in these newer games.
Yeah, and that's kind of bothers me. I like creating characters.
I love creating characters. And I love a lot of these newer games. A lot of these newer games are great. They give you a character, you go through his story. But the RPG games, the adventure games, the Fallouts, the Skyrims, even the wrestling games and stuff like that, you could always create your own character. Sure. Sports games, you could create your own character. And then it's like, dang, we started moving on to these shooter games and stuff where it's like, all right, we're losing character creation because now everything's in first person. We don't need to look at our characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point too.
So then you have GTA that you couldn't even create your own character. You know what I mean? And you still can't. Yeah, you can create your online character, persona, I think. Yeah, sure. But it's like, what's the point? I want to run through this campaign as my own character. You know what I mean? So like the fact that you could go through an entire story mode, your character that you made had a place in that story. You didn't just, okay, I'm gonna hop in this nigga's body. No, you created your own character. Like, there's not, okay, choose one of these characters. It was boom. Start from scratch, what you look like.
Yeah, and you had to start from the ground up, earning everyone's respect, and making money, and you see the journey of your character.
And it's crazy because like you get a shawty in the game. You get an ugly shawty if you lose the fight. Like everything, and that's another thing that like I loved about this game. Everything about the game depended on your fighting.
That's true.
Like it was that ass a life lesson of if you can't fight, you ain't shit for real.
Yeah, you don't belong.
Seriously, and you have all that stuff, and then like let's go into the gameplay. Small world, small little room that just have 4 walls essentially.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you're walled in with this 1 or 3 people that you're fighting.
And then you just fight.
And then you just go to war. You're either getting jumped or you're fucking somebody up.
And it's like the only real rule is you can't bring in any outside weapons.
Right.
If weapons like get thrown from the crowd into the arena, you can
they were throwing bottles, they were throwing shovels, they were throwing bats, metal poles and stuff like that, wrenches, like they were throwing whatever. They were just in there like, yo, here, take this, cracking.
Yeah, hit them real good.
Cracking with it, and it was just like, damn. So then we get into that type of gameplay and stuff, and you start seeing all the different maps, right? And it's like, damn, this place has a lot of like cool little scenery.
Oh yeah.
And then we get to maps where it's walled, and then you have maps where it's not walled, but you're still walled in by a crowd.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a rope.
Right, and like literally, as you're going through the tutorial alone, you're just like, okay, this is another Def Jam fight, Vendetta game because we're in a ring again. I'm talking to fucking not Tank, what's his name, House. I'm talking to House and I'm fighting House. All right, remember the tutorial when
when you're in Rollins' gym,
right, and you're fighting House and it's teaching you how to beat him and stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'm in here fighting House in some ring. So we're just going back to Vendetta, whatever. So then you progress further in the game. No, now you're in the streets. Now you're in these buildings that's matted down and there's speakers everywhere. And hold up, now we're in the train station fighting Danny Trejo. He just tried to clap me. He done shot D-Mob. I gotta kill this nigga now. That's the only nigga the only 2 niggas you kill in the whole game.
If you choose to, I mean, you cannot do the blazing on them. You can just like knock him out.
Really? I thought I didn't do the blazing and he still got hit.
No, just if you do the blazing, obviously you throw Trejo in front of the train. But if you just knock him out, you just kind of run up the steps.
That's interesting. Okay. I don't remember.
I'm not saying that's how I did. I've done it before. I beat the story like throughout all the slots. I used all my slots.
Oh, facts. I was almost there. I stopped playing because like my friends didn't want to play with me because my character was just too good. Like it was before I met you guys. Before I had people who could actually beat me.
Like Snap Grapple.
They're like me and Lou.
But go on. I'm sorry.
But yeah, so you get to these different fighting moves, and you're like, okay, here's the punch, here's the kick, okay, you can grab, all right, so it's just like Vendetta. Boom. And then you actually start playing, and you're like, okay, this is an interesting story mode. Damn, I work for D-Mob now. This is interesting. Okay. Boom. Oh, so D-Mob was getting played the whole time. He wasn't really a villain. He was just trying to out here get it for real. So you start getting pulled in because there's so much going on so fast.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a very action from the jump. Mind you, it's a fighting game, so even when there's not action, there's still action. Like when you're not watching some action go down, you're fighting some action. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's not boring at all.
Nothing about it is boring. It's never down tempo unless you decide to make it down tempo. If you don't progress in your mission and you just go to the shop and you go play the fights and like practice and do your own shit. Yeah, it could get boring, but as long as you're playing that story mode, it's always interesting.
Well, there's some like slow moments where you have to just kind of take over places. And you just kind of go through the fights.
Mm-hmm. But for me, I always enjoyed those moments because it's like, damn, if they're doing shit like this, then that means a big fight's coming up soon.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna utilize all this time to one by one just wreck these niggas.
Right. It's a good experience too.
Right, and then after you started beating people, that big battle would unlock, and you'd be like, damn, I knew it. I'm supposed to fight crack. Oh. So then I made sure I beat everybody else. Get as much EXP as I can, and then next thing you know, this sidekick pops up. Joey Crack's out here talking that big shit. Fat Joe, you boosted me that whole game. So he's out here talking that big shit, and then you fight him. Man, my first time playing that game, I lost to Fat Joe like 12 times.
Yep. I don't believe anyone who says they beat Fat Joe in the first try.
Neither do I.
And
everyone says that shit. The only way I can see you beating Fat Joe is if you knew you could change difficulty before that time.
Yeah, I feel that.
Because medium and hard, it took a very long time for me to actually like get good at the game and learn how to beat him.
Yeah, by the time you got
on easy, I actually did beat him. On my first playthrough, but I've also played the game so many times before. Right. You know what I mean?
And it was on easy.
So yeah, that one, it's on easy. Two, you already have a feel for the game, so you know, damn, all right, I know how this works and this works. I know if I time this right, I can get this going. And that's another thing that I fell in love with about the game. It was so immersive.
Yeah.
It was so fucking immersive. There was just so much you could do as far as just fighting. Just fighting. There was so much you could do. We're not even talking about throwing people into the crowd and them, bitch, smacking them with a shovel.
Like tag team crowd moves.
Right, and I was like, that got thrown in there? What? And then you can do teams. Like, you can battle 2v2. And that was amazing. You can do free-for-alls. And that's amazing. There's team moves. That's amazing. Like, this game was just so all around, just as close to a perfect fighting game as you can get, in my opinion, personally. And I look at the fighting game community now, and I look at the type of games we play now, and it's just like, damn, would Def Jam survive today?
If it was released in the state it was when it first dropped, I don't think so, because it had a bit of I don't want to call it an identity issue, but the way the style system wasn't fleshed out enough. Mm-hmm. Some characters were just blatantly better. Like, why wouldn't everyone use Snoop Dogg?
Right.
You know, why wouldn't everyone use... I'm trying to think of someone else that was blatantly good. I can't really remember. I don't really know like the stats of everybody, but I just know Snoop Dogg was the bomb.
The best characters from like off rep my memory was Ludacris, Bone Crusher, Crack,
Snoop Dogg,
Magic. I mean, Snoop Dogg's a given. D-Mob, I can't even say D-Mob because I actually didn't. When you fight D-Mob at the end of the game for that final,
it was.
I just want to see if I still got it, young man.
Yeah, pretty much.
That type of fight, and you like, I just slow walked him.
Yeah, he was easy.
I slow walked him. He caught me with a couple good power bomb grabs. He used his blazing on me because back then it was just so hard for like the high level characters for you to really do anything about him. So he'd fuck me up, yeah. But at the same time, it was just like, damn, I know this game so well. I know how to just cruise through them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that.
But yeah, man, like just as far as the game goes itself as to why it was so good, there was just so much you could do at that time, and we were so young. Yeah. Everything was so fresh to us. Like I said, there wasn't a game like there wasn't a series like Def Jam, because there was a game like it, Vendetta. Actually, I'm lying. There wasn't a game like Def Jam Fight for New York because it was it was so distinctly different from Vendetta that sometimes if you don't say Def Jam and you just start talking about them, I'll forget Vendetta exists.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when people say Def Jam, Vendetta's not in my head.
Right, it's Fight for New York.
It's Fight for New York. That's the only one I think about.
Well, because Vendetta's a bona fide wrestling game.
But it was like you said, it was just a great wrestling game. Like you could hit and shit, but it was a wrestling game. It was like street wrestling.
Kind of, yeah. But every arena was a wrestling ring.
No, yeah. But it's like underground wrestling.
Yeah, it's all underground wrestling rings.
Because like you can get that sanctioned easy. Like
sure.
Wrestling and like straight tagging each other until somebody gets knocked out.
Bare knuckles.
Yeah, that's a lot different. But wrestling, you can have fun with wrestling because wrestling is supposed to be like fake. So people are like, staged. You know what I mean? So it's a lot easier to get something like that going. No, but yeah, man, I think it was just so fresh. It was just new.
Fresh and new, yeah. So you brought up how would it fare today, and I wanted to bring up this question to you. If it were to come back, they say Def Jam's making a return, it's in good hands, right? And let's say it's in whoever did Icons, like screw them, right? it's in good hands. These people have maybe they reformed EA Big, right? Maybe EA Big, they reformed it just for this new Def Jam game. It's really they're really taking their time with it, and when it comes out, it's good, right? Like just ignore the fact that it could be bad, right? It's gonna be definitely good.
So it's definitely a good game.
Yeah, just scenario. This really good Def Jam game. It comes out, right? It drops, and it's awesome, right? If they brought it back that way, would you prefer the styles to come back, the individual styles, your kickboxing, submission, wrestling, street fighting, and martial arts, right? That was the main five. Would you prefer them to bring that back and mix and match them for, the cast, like they did with Fight for New York? And every character kind of had, like, one or two, like, moves that were distinctly them.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Like, like Fat Joe's pedigree. No one else had a pedigree.
Right.
Or would you prefer them to maybe shorten the character select, right? Maybe have 30 characters as opposed to like 60 or 50. I forget how much we're in Fight for New York. Maybe it's like 30. Maybe it's 25. But each character is crafted from the ground up in a unique style. Which one would you prefer?
That way, because that's how a lot of games are these days. And I feel like that's made games better. Because it really shows you how much time they took to make this character important.
Okay.
In his own right, you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. So it's pretty cut and dry for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong, the little option thing was great, but it was only great because you could mix and match.
Right, and kind of great for creating characters, really.
Yeah, literally, exactly. And, like, every character in Def Jam Fight for New York was unique to an extent. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, they were all unique off the strength that the game did what they could for what they had at the time. But, like you said, they're not every move was distinct.
Yeah, some characters share.
If it were ever to get remade or remastered or just a whole new relaunch, like you were saying, I would love it if they took the time to build every character from the ground up.
Okay.
Because just with the way shit is now, the way our video games are now, it would just be so good. It'd be so good to just see each character just flowing on their own. You know what I mean? And not a limited move list. I don't want it to be like Tekken not Tekken, MK11, where every character has like 10 moves and that's
10 strings and that's the game. You're looking for something closer to like how Tekken would be. Everyone's got like a long list of moves.
Yeah, a long list of moves, and if you fuck around and really want to practice them, you can get some crazy combos going.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I can understand that. So you could have a character like say like Busta Rhymes. You know, he can stay like he's a submission character.
Right.
He's your submission. Say he plays similar to maybe like Armor King.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little bit more raw than, say, King is. You can have, like, your King character be, I don't know, like Method Man or whatever.
Mm.
Or if you want your martial artist, you can be, Red Man is the martial artist. They do things kind of like Law. There's a lot of flip kicks and all that fun stuff. They could be, like, really personalized. And it would be really cool.
It
would just be cool,
I would prefer that, if we're being honest.
Okay.
That's definitely my preference. Like, 100%.
Got you. Nice. And would you want to keep like the roster, diverse throughout all like the eras of rap, or is there like a particular?
No, I feel like if they redropped Def Jam, I would prefer them to do it in a similar fashion of like the sports games. So we wouldn't worry about the old characters. If you want to bring them back, that's perfectly fine. Bring them back for the first game.
Okay.
So
this is like a new trilogy in the Def Jam series.
Right, yes, absolutely. So if I were to remake Def Jam and it was amazing, my first thing would be I'd bring back all the characters from Fight for New York specifically.
All of them?
Well...
all the rappers?
The biggest names, because like you said, it wouldn't be a, 150 character story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It would be 30 to 50 at max.
At max. I wouldn't say 50. 50 is kind of a lot to build every character from the ground up.
True. So honestly... 30 might be pushing it, but 25, 30 at max.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And, you have 15 heroes, 15 villains if you want.
Oh, yeah, and that would be all, like, story preferences.
And
obviously they're all
be to the
humans.
story. Right. They're just rappers that we know day-to-day, but their roles would be either villainous or, justified.
Okay.
And, I would have, a good chunk of the main crew. Like, I would keep D-Mob. I'd probably bring Snoop Dogg back just so that I can start the new series with their beef, like a little refresher.
Got you.
Like, this is what happened from what we last saw. Now I'm gonna redo it so that you get a whole new perspective of it, you get to understand it better. You know what I mean?
Maybe play from Crow's point of view. Maybe have a couple of chapters later.
No, I'd probably, if there was a character creation, I'd probably give you the option to choose.
Oh, okay, like a choose a side
right.
type of deal. Okay.
And I don't know if I'd make it like Fallout to your actions dictated who you went to, or you had to pick and choose who you went to.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that.
The game does a good job already doing that by saying, oh, well, we got your girl, so now you gotta come fight for us. Like, that was such a great twist, because it's like, damn, the one thing that could get a street nigga to fight for you is someone he cares about.
Yeah, getting captured, yeah.
So it's like, perfect. Damn, whether it be his girl, family member, yada yada, like, I could, being like just a so much more futuristic game, because, we're about to be in 2020. This game came out in 06. So that's
Jesus Christ.
That's 14 years.
Holy crap.
We've advanced so much in our like in our gameplay and our technology as a whole. It's like, damn, I could really go deep into this game and give so much more information. I could give, like flashback missions so that people can play with characters that you normally wouldn't be able to play with.
Oh, that'd be cool.
You know what I mean?
Very cool.
Damn, what was I gonna say? But yeah, I'd bring back some of those characters. The bigger names, like the importances, and then you can create your own character. And I'd start with them. Throughout the game, people would either die or retire. You know what I mean?
I feel that.
By the end of my first game, if Snoop Dogg didn't die, he'd be in jail. So
there's a possibility of bringing him back for a future.
Right, exactly. I love returning characters.
Gotcha.
Characters that people almost forget about. Oh, boom.
Especially returning villains. There's always.
Oh, absolutely. There's a love for that. Like, that's great. You know what I mean? But then in the next game, I'd travel through our history, like through like American history. I'm not really worried about the rest of the world right now.
Gotcha.
But like definitely American history as far as music goes, or I guess just hip hop specifically, because Def Jam is a hip hop record label. So, well, it was. I think it's part of a bunch of other shit now. But in any case, it's a fucking hip hop game.
Yeah.
So I keep it hip hop, and I would begin going through the legacies. Off rep, some of our favorite classic like rappers would be legendary characters that you just had to unlock.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Flashback missions would include characters like them. I'd have D-Mob talking about some shit he had to do with Tupac.
So you have like dead rappers.
Yeah, absolutely. And they would just be legendary characters that you unlocked throughout the game or at the end of the game.
Okay.
Or if you build up enough of this, there it is.
I'm with that.
You know what I mean? And I'd go through like the early 2000s, the 2010s, up until like who's popping right now. And each game would progress as time does. You know what I mean?
I'm
like,
with that.
if it's my first game, I'm bringing those guys back. My second game, I'm moving to the DMX, Nas, Jay-Z era,
So going back into like the mid 90s.
Yeah.
Or mid 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, like, NWO.
NWA.
I'm sorry, NWA. I'm
Stuck
thinking wrestling and shit.
He's back on that wrestling Turtles.
But yeah, like NWA, I'm bringing like the whole Wu-Tang Clan in that bitch.
The whole
like,
Wu-Tang Clan?
I'm bringing like Pac and Big in that joint. Like it would just go with time. My third game would be like the 2010s. That's where you would get your Young Money, your Kanye West.
Got you.
I already said Young Money, but I don't know if you know who they all are. So like your Drakes, your Lil Waynes, I'd probably throw 50 Cent in that other game.
Oh, the first one?
Yeah, and like the game, I'd probably throw him in there too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't pay attention to music as much as I probably should. But then in like in like today's world, you'd have like the rappers that either you love or you hate, because we have some of the society that doesn't like any of these new rappers, and we have a good chunk of the new society, or not the new society, the younger crowd of our society who's just in love with all of them. You know what I mean? Like,
and don't necessarily like the older rappers.
Yeah. So it'd be like, damn, now we have a game with all these young guys, and your legends are J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake, Lil Wayne, Jay-Z, because he's still around, Eminem. You know what I mean? All these legends, old legends returning from the old games, and all those characters are legends now that you can unlock throughout the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would just progressively build, like how Smash Ultimate did.
Oh,
how every time they had like DLC and stuff, you would add it. So each game would only include like maybe 5 to 10 more characters.
Okay, but it would all just compound on top of each other.
Exactly.
And then eventually you have a big roster of characters.
You have that same 150 level roster.
Right, so it builds up over time.
Absolutely.
That's a smart way to do it.
And I would really tweak with the online too. I would really get creative with the online.
Okay.
I'd probably like mix it with like Fallout. I'd make it open world.
Oh wow.
So that instead of just being in your apartment jumping from place to place, you have to travel from place to place to get to where you want.
Fight other people online.
Right, and the only jumping thing would probably be like what state you went to.
Oh, okay, I got you.
You know what I mean? Then I'd probably make like a little space. We know that this is where the fights are. This is where you have to go talk to this person, this and that person. You know what I mean? Like sort of like a Naruto open world thing. Like you kind of just like a main path, and then boom, here's this big open space that you can visit. You can go buy clothes here. Different trainers to unlock different moves. Because I don't know if I would do, like, going back to the original question, I got pretty far off topic, but going back to the original question of, like, the styles and stuff.
Yeah.
As far as that goes in this gameplay, I'd bring it back to an extent. Like, you'd have your basic fighting styles that you can go over, and then you'd have different masters of each fighting style all throughout the world.
All right,
So as you get to each new world, you have to beat this person. Okay, this master saw your fight. He said you're more than welcome to pop up in the gym. Now you have an opportunity to learn new moves and add them to your arsenal or swap them out. You know what I mean?
So it'd be kind of like an RPG element to it.
Exactly.
Okay,
and I feel like it would be a decent twist on what's already such a great game.
Geez, that'll be a massive game. That's a massive undertaking.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't. That question wouldn't have any weight to it if I didn't ask you the simple one. Which single rapper, would you put in as like a new character?
Kevin Gates.
Kevin Gates? Mm-hmm. Who's Kevin Gates?
He's my favorite rapper out right now. He's one of the newer rappers.
Oh, okay.
So, believe it or not, you remember when we used to be back at Miss Brandy's?
Yeah.
And I was living there, and we were over there every weekend playing Yu-Gi-Oh!, watching stuff and stuff. You remember when I had my Spotify playlist going while we were playing Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah.
We were dead-ass listening to Kevin Gates while we were playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, wow. Okay,
yeah.
So maybe I am a fan of Kevin Gates. I just don't know it. All right, Kevin Gates, welcome to Def Jam.
Right, that'd be lit. But, like, if you ever get a chance, just look him up. Just look up videos of, like, his little short interviews. The dude has just a mindset that I vibe with so well. He's such a like a good, genuine, decent person. His music is gritty.
Gritty.
His music is all that shit.
Well, that's perfect.
But
it's a perfect match then.
He's such a like a good dude, you know what I mean?
I got you.
Like, yeah, he's my favorite rapper out today. Plus he's Puerto Rican, I just found out. So that kind of yeah, he's black and Puerto Rican, and that kind of got me really excited. Because he was already one of my favorites, then I found out he was Rican, and I was like, damn, special place in my heart now.
Special place.
But yeah, and if I had him in there, he wouldn't be like a villain or nothing. He'd be like your road dog. He'd be your Red Man, essentially.
Right. Well,
or your Method Man.
Would that depend on what side you chose, or will he just stick by you no matter what side?
Well, he's going to be like your bro. So he's going to stick by you inadvertently. The way I would do it is if you chose the hero route with D-Mob and them, he'd be your road dog. You and him are D-Mob's newest recruits. He saw y'all fighting out there or whatever, and he was like, yo, y'all want to come make some money for us. You know what I mean? Then when you come in, you actually learn more and more about D-Mob and his motives. How he's just trying to rebuild his little army because he has to fight Crow again. You know, I'll probably make it some shit that like Crow didn't die or something.
Gotcha.
Like he fell into like a trash can. He didn't fell all the way
up. He fell
up.
into a trash can.
Like deadass. He fell into like a trash can and he got unconscious because he got thrown out of a window and now he's just on bags of trash. When they go to dump the trash, he'll wake up and, you know, all that crazy lore that I would add into it. But I'd make it make sense. And then if you chose Crow's side, because you're going to have two people come up to you. And I'd probably make it so that you don't really know what the right side is, but you would know what the right side is by your best friend. Because when you go to make the choice, he's going to keep leaning towards D-Mob. But the character won't know D-Mob is the good guy unless you played the old Def Jam.
Got you.
You know what I mean? And then you could go to Crow, and I'd probably make it so that like Crow offered you more money to start.
So you'd make more money as Crow.
But D-Mob offered you like more like experience points.
Okay, yeah, maybe it's like a give and take.
Yeah, so like either one you could do good with, but like money would get you like dumb shit that could help you. You know, it wouldn't just get you clothes and shit. It'd probably get you like boosts.
Right, it would have
and
to
stuff. It would have to be worthwhile and not just like, okay, I can buy new clothes with this money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because not everyone cares about that.
Yeah, once I had my outfit like 5 or 6 fights in, I just didn't care anymore.
I feel that.
I think the only thing I changed as I started beating the game was like the jewelry I wore.
Yeah,
and then I changed like my pants to black. Because they were like a dark gray, because I didn't have black unlocked yet for the specific jeans I wanted.
I feel that.
So when I finally got the black ones, I got the black ones, and then I got these like red and black shoes, and then I was out there, and I was fucking everybody up.
For the whole game.
Yeah, and that was just me for the game. So all my money really didn't mean nothing. You know, the money would probably be like skill points that you can unlock characters with. Okay. That way it's worth something. It's like, damn, if I go fuck with Crow, I can have all the characters unlocked, you know, today maybe. Who knows? Well, all the ones that are able to be unlocked, you know what I mean? In that way. And then if you go to D-Mob, yeah, you don't have all that money, but you'll get more experience points faster to make your guy stronger. So it'd be like, damn, little do they know if they go with D-Mob, because it's low-key the right choice, it benefits you a little bit better. And I just make it a little, and like, if you go with Crow and you do that, it's cheaper to buy these characters. You know what I mean?
Got you.
Like 10% or some dumb shit like that.
It turns into a moral question almost.
Right, and I want it to be based off like your decisions. Like I love games like that because it really allows you to become one with that game. Like that game is organic because you made those decisions. And it would be a long game. Like, well,
sounds like a long game.
Production would take a long
big
time.
Game. Oh yeah.
Because there would be so many endings. I want there to be like at least 10.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you thought about this for a long time.
I've been thinking about this game since we first started talking about finding Def Jam on Amazon 4 years ago.
Damn.
But yeah, dude, and Kevin Gates would deadass be my best friend who either if I joined Crow, he would hate me, but like love me at the same time because no matter what, you two would meet at the end.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So if y'all were together the whole time, you'd fight these two guys at the very end in a tag team battle. If y'all weren't, then you would fight him and his mans in a tag team battle, and then him in the final battle.
Oh, okay. Some dramatic type of stuff.
Right. And I would build tension between y'all the whole time because it would be one of those stories where it's like, damn, I really don't want to beef with this nigga, but he's pissing me off.
Oh.
like he's my bro, and we were never beefing. We just chose different sides. It's like the perfect story of, is your bro really your bro when y'all meet back? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we would end up meeting in this final fight, and then if you win, you would get the option to either like put him down and say fuck it, or help him up and bro, it was never anything bad. I needed that bread. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'd have some type of dichotomy between them and some type of, I don't know. Now you got me thinking of like creating this whole game.
All right. Well, let's move on from that onto
that was a lot. My bad.
To abruptly break away from that, we'll move on to the one of the final questions I have for you. When we first met, you were a Steve main, and you brought that up earlier today, earlier in this interview, that you were a Steve main. But, by the end of your run on Tekken, not the end of it, but we haven't played Tekken in a while, you were a hard Dragunov main.
Right.
What caused that transition from, the Boxer Steve to, like, the Commando Dragunov?
Well, I had watched somebody play with Dragunov, and I was watching, I was like, oh, damn, he looks really weird, he moves really weird, but he looks cool. Like, his character design is just cool. Like, that was just, that attracted me. I was like, damn, he looks tough as hell. I want to... not really I want to use him. I was just like, damn, he looks tough. Just like Miguel. When I saw Miguel, I said, damn, he looks like, if I wanted to be like a Spanish brawler, that's who that would look like.
Be Miguel.
Right. And, I'm playing the Steve because, like I said, I see a dude with gloves. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Oh, he doesn't kick. He does like a little dodge. That's cool as hell. I'm going to just fuck with him for a minute until I decide if I want to get this game or not. You know what I mean? I rock with him because no one else rocks with him. Cool. And I started really enjoying Steve and really like loving Steve, and Steve became my favorite character in Tekken. Then I bought Tekken and I opened Tekken up, and I started, messing with other characters because at the time I felt like, all right, well I'm really good with Steve now. Time to move on. And I was young in the chain. I didn't realize how much time we really should have been putting in these characters.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Individually, not everybody, but individually, and I had like Dragunov, and I was like, dang, he looks pretty cool. And then when I was watching him play, and I was like, damn, he does look like even cooler while he's fighting this stuff. Like his stance is weird, but I kind of like it. You know what I mean? Like he looks like he's about to tackle somebody, and then you see what he's doing, and it's like, damn, he's cool as hell. Like his moveset is just amazing. It's so different. There's so many things that you're just like, damn, why is he doing all this? Like, you would have never expected him to throw a knee into somebody's gut, put him in a guillotine, crack their neck, then roll his leg over their arm, flip them on the ground, and then snap their arm. Like, that shit is so cool. So he has grabs, he has counters, and he has chain links. And he has quick pokes that can keep me in competition with the people who poke me. Because, like, people were starting to run through me with Steve because I couldn't do nothing but punch. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, if I really took the time to break Steve down, I could have probably done some crazy damage.
Yeah, he's one of those specialist characters.
Right.
Like, and I mean, main Steve.
Everyone even started commenting because I started doing that. Like, once I realized, like, there has to be more to Steve, like, I really opened him up. And then he stayed as my second for a very long time. And then, that was pretty much it right there. Just, when you've never played a game before, you kind of just grab somebody.
Yeah,
somebody that you find interesting or somebody that you might know.
On face value.
Right. So it's like, damn, Steve I'm a boxer, he's a boxer, fuck it. I'll just rock with the boxer for now. That's me. And I see Dragunov, and I'm seeing all these characters, but Dragunov just stood out so much. And then it was like, wow, this dude looks so cool. Just everything he's doing is so cool. Like, I love it. I love everything about him. And I was just like, I want to use him. Like, I want to always use him. I want to be the best with him.
The best Dragunov player in the world.
Now I'm like, better than most people I play in that game.
Which is good. I mean, I've always, from, like, your first, like, night playing with us, I could always tell, like, there's always a lot of raw potential there. But, you know, you never, maybe not had the drive or just, like, the platform to tap into it.
It was you guys, man. I tell people all the time, I was never a confident fighting game player. I would have never talked the way I do now. Niggas be like, oh, yeah, I fuck with that tech. And I'm like, oh, word? Do you? Because I ain't played in months, but do you?
Right, how much do you?
Yeah, because my 7 months off is still some shit. Don't get me wrong. I just got to touch the controller again.
Right, get it back in your hands.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I did that shit with, damn, I forgot the game. Oh, I do that shit with Dragon Ball Z all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take like 4 or 5 months off of Dragon Ball, then I'll come back rusty as hell, and then I'll just start picking back up my combos again.
And then stronger than you were before.
Yeah, and then I'll be learning shit the whole time, because it's almost like I'm relearning everything.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
Plus
like,
more.
Learning some new shit this time, and I just remembered my old shit. So, but yeah, that's where that transition came in.
Okay, once you started to understand who you were as like a fighting game player,
I realized like there has to be a reason I'm so attracted to this character, and that's how it is with all the games. Like with Bane, he's one of my favorite villains of all time. He's my favorite Batman villain. So it's like, damn, he's my second favorite DC villain. So it's like, yeah, off rip, I was attracted to him. I saw Black Adam in that game. Black Adam doesn't grab.
No, he's
not at all. But I still love playing as him off the strength that he's one of my favorites. Black Adam was the character that I would have went to first if I was playing Injustice 2 for the first time.
Oh, it would have been Black Adam and then Bane?
And then I would have eventually landed on Bane or Atrocitus.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Atrocitus.
Yeah, but it was that just really seeing how these fighting games play and all of it being so new to me, and then seeing all the shit he was doing, I'm like, wow. That's amazing. I like him. I want to use him. Like, I want to use that guy. Fuck all the bullshit. And that's when it became that. And then that's when I was, like, excited because you guys told me about the whole 3-character thing. And I was like, oh, lit? So I can have all 3 of these guys and nobody will complain? Litty. All right, cool. As long as my first one isn't y'all first one, say no more.
Hey, there you go.
So that's what it became. And, you know, I was comfortable because I could still use Steve whenever I wanted. You know, he was always my second. I was still good with him. Very good. Like, honestly, I couldn't beat the champ special with Dragunov. I had to go to Steve to beat his Brian.
Right. I guess it was kind of like a counter pick.
Yeah, it was like, dang. When it's Dragunov versus Brian, I just can't keep up with him.
Right.
When it's Steve versus Brian, it's like, okay, we're you know, we both got it with the hands.
Well, I think it comes down to, like, both Dragunov and Brian, they're always kind of like teamed up anyway.
True.
They're kind of playing the same game. Mm-hmm. They want to get in, kind of mix you up a little bit. Maybe get a grab off or two. Dragunov's got more than Brian does.
Right.
But Steve's playing a different game. He's got to be very evasive. Mm-hmm. He's got to make your opponent make the mistake as opposed to just kind of forcing their hand. You know what I mean?
He's designed like he's supposed to be a counter puncher.
It could be.
Like that's how his boxing design is. He stays low. He has like a triple G little I can't remember what they call it. But I think it's called cat and mouse or something like that. But it's where he tucks his chin and his like fists are above his right up by his eyes, and he's bobbing and weaving as he steps in
the whole time.
Yeah, like there's so much cool shit about Steve. Like he's so awesome. But just Dragunov did it for me, man. Dragunov's my favorite Tekken character, easily. Yeah, that's definitely just it. It's like just like that whole love at first sight feeling. Like,
okay.
Damn, like this is my character for sure.
Got you.
Like,
and you stuck with him since then.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, I picked up King as my third, King's my second now, because I got way better with him than I was with Dragunov. Or, not Dragunov, Steve. So Steve dropped down to number 3. But my grapple characters are when I'm using them, it's just like I can never get tired of using them.
Right, because it's your style of play. It's just how you naturally like to play.
Like, with with some of these games, I used to jump from character to character. Like, okay, I want to do this because he can do this. With these grapple characters, man, once I figure out the one I want, it's just I don't want a different one.
Right. It becomes your whole life.
None of these other characters matter to me.
Hey, it's very rare. Some people don't actually find a character in the game that they enjoy. So it's nice that you have like a whole archetype that you enjoy, and you can like derive pleasure just from that.
And that's what I enjoy, because sometimes they don't have my characters. Like,
yeah, sometimes they don't.
I was just thinking of the game and I can't think about it now. Oh, but like when I was scared they weren't gonna have Kano and MK.
Oh yeah.
It's like, damn, what if they don't? They took a lot of characters that I was good with out. You know what I mean? So it's like, damn. You can't always have your character, and you know, Kano isn't in Injustice.
No, he's not.
Dragunov isn't in Mortal Kombat.
No, yeah.
So that archetype shit comes in handy, because it's like, damn, well, I know he's gonna play a lot like my favorite character from this game. That alone can make me attracted to a character.
For sure.
Because like, damn, I can pick him up easy. I can be pretty good with him, and I can break him open. Maybe he'll do some cool shit like this character does, and I can like him. And that's usually how it happens. The only one it hasn't happened to yet is Azeroth.
Oh yeah, well,
but that's like because I don't
kind of game.
I don't play Soul Calibur like that. I feel like I could get very good with him.
Oh, probably because you have that grappler mentality. You know how to space things. You know how to be patient. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what it comes down to, being a grappler player. Just be patient. Yeah,
seriously, I'll be on the defensive for so much. People get mad at me. Attack, and I'm like, no. It's like, I'm trying to plan my strategy. You keep doing what you're doing, idiot.
Like, why would I attack when you tell me to?
when you tell me to. Like,
what kind of fighter would that make me?
Seriously. Yeah, man. That's that. That's that whole transition for me.
Well, the final question I have for you is going back to Kano. You just brought up Kano.
Okay.
You used him in MK9 when we used to play MK9. Mm-hmm. What attracted you to Kano? Like Kano the character? Because he wasn't always a grappler. Mm-hmm. Even in MK9, he wasn't a grappler.
So, Mortal Kombat is arguably the most notorious fighting game of all time.
Yes.
If not Street Fighter. But everybody knows what Mortal Kombat is. Mm-hmm. Everybody. I've yet to meet a person who doesn't know what it is. My grandma knew what Mortal Kombat was.
That's hardcore.
She said, "Oh, the Scorpion?" Like, and I was like, "Wow."
Oh, kill those people.
She'd be like, "Get over here," and like do like the whole little cute voice. I'm like, "You 60-year-old lady, you better stop it."
Careful, she's definitely a Scorpion.
I know, right? She's a Scorpion, man. She out here doing teleport kicks on people. Right, my grandma was whooping ass. I'm letting y'all know right now. Seriously, Sonic Fox be scared of her and shit. Let me chill before he says something about my grandma and I really get mad. I really make it just such a big deal. But oh man, Kano. So with Mortal Kombat being as popular as it is, Kano was like the only character that I was surefire that nobody was using.
Oh, yeah, you're right about that.
So I told you I hate mirror matches.
Yeah.
I hate them. I hate them with a passion. I don't want to have to fight you for this character. If it comes to that and I care about him a lot, like anybody who picks Dragunov against me, be prepared for like my absolute best, because I'm coming at you with everything I got. Right. I need to prove that I'm better.
You're the best Dragunov.
Like specifically with Dragunov, just like when I wanted to do with Jiren.
Okay.
And with MK, I was gonna try to do that too, but with me not being able to play games like that, it just didn't happen with MK.
Right.
But with MK,
as we get older,
seeing is like, you know, everyone just, you know, we had a big group.
Yeah.
Every character I cared about, somebody else was using, so it was like, damn. And then we had affiliation people who were coming in and using other characters. Like, we had, you know, a bunch of my friends come in, and they were out there becoming so close with the food chain, and it's like, damn, you know, you're not, you know, necessarily food chain, but you can, like, you deadass abide by the same rules. This is your main. You know, you claim it as your main. Like, you deadass act as if you're part of the group, and it's like, damn, I respect you for that. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm going to respect that character as your main. It's like, damn, I don't want to use that one. I need to use that one. Like, I've taken some characters that people have been using before. Like, I wasn't the only person to ever use Raiden. You know, I just picked up King. Pecan Swirl picked up King when he was a child.
Yeah, it was a little kid.
So it's like, damn, all these people use something. Like, even Dragunov, the Champ Special used to use before he started, like, maining Brian heavy. You know, a lot of the shit that I know about Dragunov came from Champ Special. Okay. So it's like, damn. All these characters that I've used have been used by somebody before. Even Bane. You were a Bane main in Injustice 1.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't play Injustice 1. I didn't know about that. Then I'm like, yo, Bane's so tough in Injustice 2. And you're like, yeah, I made him in 1. I'm like, fuck.
Well, it was like a quasi-main in one. Like, I mained Solvent Grundy mostly.
Right. Well, that's why I stuck to Black Adam at first, because like nobody wanted to use Black Adam. Because that was like my baby. You know, that's my favorite DC villain. So it's like everyone knew I love Black Adam. It's like, you know, that's definitely going to be the loose guy. We don't even got to worry about that.
Word.
And then when I was on the Bane flow, you were like, oh yeah, you know, I used to main Bane. I was like, fuck. So I'm going to just stick with Black Adam. And then you just didn't use Bane really at all in Injustice 2. And I was like, damn. And you kind of just gave me full, like, honor. Just, yo, take that. Take him. Be great. And I was like...
Take him. Make him the best he can be.
And I was like... And like, I did that. I was one of, like, the best Banes in Injustice 2 that I've ever, like, seen. Like, mirror matches, I would dominate.
Every time?
Dominate.
Nice,
I've never lost to a Bane in a mirror match. But that's
like a special kind of like happiness there.
Yeah, seriously. Granted, I didn't face many of them. I think online I've only faced 5.
Yeah, he's not very popular.
I don't want him to be. But see, that's another reason. My character selection now is a lot about like who's popular and who's not.
Okay.
Because I like using obscure characters because that means like nobody's gonna like
touch him.
Nobody's gonna touch him. Nobody's gonna fuck with me about him. You know what I mean?
No one's gonna like learn about him. So you have
and
to
yeah,
find that edge.
and like I learned that the further I got into gaming, like damn. I'm kind of running through people who I just saw run through me when I was using this character. It's because they must not see how this character plays much.
They might not know all the little intricacies,
right?
Like the actual game plan for that character.
So it was like now I go into like obscure characters. I don't like being part of the norm.
Got you. I feel that.
I never did, and
like
it's
to stick out in the crowd.
Yeah, and whether I stick out or not, it's just like this is me over here, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's where the Kano thing came from. Honestly, I'm like, nobody likes him. He's low tier as shit. Fuck it, I'll use him.
Hey, there you go.
And then I ended up using him. I didn't really do much with him on MK9, but then, you know, MKX came out, and the big push for MKX was coming out, and we were all like, okay, MKX. And on MKX, he just has all these grapples and these variations, and I'm like, oh shit, this dude is tough as hell.
Right, it's like they built him from the ground up in X for you.
Yeah, seriously, and that's what blew my mind. He was just like the perfect character for me. He had a good amount of combo game, into grapples, into command grabs, and then he had his own grapple game. Then they added the counter moves, where he was countering people, and I could do a counter for anything you had. And I loved it. Like, oh my god, Kano, I fell in love with his character all over again. Or for the first time in X.
Okay.
Like, in 9, it was just like, okay, I like him. He's pretty cool. Like, the shit he was doing in MK9 was just cool. Like, his voice was cool. Like, his mannerisms. He was such an asshole. So, like, he just walked around like the cool kid. You know what I mean? So, just a lot of shit he did was lit. And I used him. And then when X came and I got my own copy and I really started practicing because I wanted to be on y'all level. I really wanted to compete. I wanted to have the top food chain members looking for me like, damn, let me put my game face on. Lou got the sticks. Whether I was the worst or not, like I wanted to fight my heart out like I was the best.
Right, make it so we also had to give our best or we weren't going to win.
Right, and eventually it got there, and that's when I realized like I really ascended as a fighting game player. Like when you started telling me how hard it was for you to beat me, that was probably like the best fighting game compliment I've ever gotten. and I've had people tell me that they're the best, that I'm the best player they've ever seen at games. But because I know you guys, that shit doesn't mean anything to me.
Well, it should mean something to you.
It means a lot because now I look at it as in the strength of like, damn, if you're not on my team, you like, there's a good chance you really can't get with me. Like, there's great players out there. Don't get me wrong. Like, sure. I lost in Smash in the semis to one of those guys who won. I can't remember his name, but in any case, he won the whole thing. So I know there's people out there who are better.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, now do I want to compete with them or do I want to let them just keep being better, so that we can keep promoting the chain? You know what I mean?
It's a give and take.
Because if we're running tournaments and we're the best at the tournaments every time, what's the point of anyone wanting to come?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's like seeing all these other great players out there is just so good. It's so good. I love it. But yeah, that's where the Kano thing came from, man. Like I needed a character that was mine.
Yeah. So and you chose Kano.
Like Raiden was lit, but like everyone uses Raiden. And then Raiden was like top tier for so long in MKX.
Yeah, he was I think all the way up to the end of his life cycle.
Damn, well, there you go. So it was like, damn, I don't want top tier characters because for me, if you're top tier, it's easy for you to win. I want gritty wins. I want to know my win meant something.
Right.
And that's when
fight tooth and nail for it.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's probably the biggest push for why I maintained the grapple character.
Okay.
Like, ideology.
Because they always have an uphill battle on their hands for the most part. Sometimes
I
they
think
don't,
the only one that I can remember off rip who didn't and who was top tier was like 16.
Yeah.
And I honestly think it's just because of the kind of game it was.
And he was the only one with command grab at the time, like a useful command grab.
Yeah,
and
seriously.
it was his armor, and
he
had other factors.
And that's another thing. Like when you add armor to these characters and stuff, it's like, damn. All right. Well, now these guys are a little more important than they used to be. Just because without that armor, they're getting smacked around, aka Bane and Justice 1. So it's like
he had one hit of armor, no matter what level you were.
Seriously, and now it's like, damn. Now he has more armor. Now he can block a little more. I can actually get across the field without getting knocked out.
And he's got more grabs. He had only in Justice 1, Bane had one standing grab and an anti-air grab.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
That was like the extent of his grapples.
Yeah, he was a whole wrestler in this game, which I love because they try to give him the whole luchador thing, and it's like if you're gonna give him a luchador thing, let him wrestle.
Yeah,
let him.
make him a
he
luchador.
Literally is notorious for breaking the Batman's back with a spine buster.
He doesn't let anyone forget that he did that.
Never. And now he's like your back wasn't enough. I want to break your soul. Like he wants to kill the Batman essentially, in the most lethal way possible.
He doesn't want to just shoot him.
He doesn't want to kill Bruce Wayne. He wants Bruce Wayne to live his life in agony. That's what he wants. Because Bane had to live his life in agony. But in any case, yeah, I'd probably have to say that the thrill of winning a battle that I knew I shouldn't have won. Like, there's no way your god tier Scorpion should lose to my Kano.
Okay, yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, for sure.
All the teleportation you have and shit, and when I learned that the counters could affect the teleportation, it was a wrap for all these Scorpions out here. All these Scorpions were catching wreck. Because when they couldn't do nothing to me up front, they would always try to teleport real quick.
Do a couple of back
I'm waiting
jumps.
for you. I'm waiting for you now. I had one dude run up on me, try to do swing, back teleport. I said block, counter. Take that.
Right, and they probably never tried that again.
They did. Well,
shut their options down.
They did, or he did one more time, and then when I did it again, he was like, "Okay, damn it, that wasn't an accident. He meant to do that. I'm not gonna do that no more." Then he kept trying to jump in on me, and I just cannonballed up.
Right, and he just shut down all their options.
Seriously,
and Kano's good for that. He's good for keeping space of everywhere. At least old Kano was. He's a little bit weaker in MK11 than he used to be.
They changed him a lot in MK11. He felt very off to me, but I do feel like if I really got the game and sat there and grinded, I could
make something of him.
I could definitely make something of it for sure.
Right. Well, they focus more on the criminal aspect of him.
Now he's just so
raw.
Yeah, he's just raw and evil essentially. He's out here pissing on people and stuff. I was like, I'm like
Molotovs and stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, you were a cool asshole before, and now you're just kind of a whole head ass.
Right, now just an Aussie boy.
Yeah, seriously, and it's yeah. But, yeah, man, that's where the Kano thing came in, and I've kind of stuck with him. Even now, even in MK11, if I ever picked it up, he'd still be part of my team. Would he be my main? I'm not sure. It really depends on how that game plays. If I can make it work as my main, absolutely.
Well, MK11 plays drastically different from MKX, so if your main does change between, no one could fault you. Characters play different than they used to.
Yeah, and it seems like every character grabs so much now.
Yeah, a lot of characters have command grabs.
So it's damn, I'm in not a win-win scenario wherever I go, but I'm still winning wherever I go.
I think the issue is, and this might be why you're conflicted with MK11, is that there's no designated grappler anymore. Everyone's got one or two.
And everyone's the perfect mix of everything.
Yeah, everyone's pretty balanced.
And
well, not balanced, but they have the whole package most of the time.
Yeah, and I'm well, where's the originality? Sonya has grabs. They look a little different, but then here's Jackie over here with grabs. Oh, and she's a Muay Thai fighter now. Okay, that's cool. That's interesting. Where's Cassie Cage? Oh, look, she's grabbing people. Where's Kano? He still has a couple grabs. Where's Raiden? Oh, look, he has 2 grabs. Where's Shao Kahn? Oh, look, here's a grab. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every character has 2, at least 2 grab moves now, and it kind of really throws me off because I remember if it wasn't your neutral grab, you weren't grabbing that.
Yeah, not everyone had a command grab.
So it was damn.
Take MK9. The only characters that really had command grabs were Kano, I think, had an air grab. Scorpion had his air grab. Jax had his grab, got you grab, and the air grab, and Shiva had Was Shiva really might have been the only character with like a true command grab, where she
Really?
would dash forward and grab.
Really?
Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that.
I got you. But yeah, dude, that's where it all started, and that's where it's. I really can't say ended because I'm still alive, but that's where it's like. That's where it's been.
Nice. Okay, that's interesting. That's very interesting. So, in a bid to be the most original, you chose the most original.
Yeah.
So I dig that. I dig that. My nose is running like crazy.
You're good, man. We all get sicky.
Okay. Unless you have any more questions or concerns, we can wrap it up. Well, do you not, sir?
As of right now, no. Are there any FC things that you wanted to bring up to me that I need to know about?
Not necessarily, unless you want to put a plug in for something or other.
No. I mean, obviously, check out FC or the Food Chains FCTV YouTube channel. That this will probably go on. Are you posting this on there?
This is going on multiple different avenues.
Oh, okay, cool. Lit. So, yeah, definitely check us out. You can find this on there and more Food Chain members and stuff like that down at FCTV. And this will definitely probably be part of our FCTV or Food Chain Origins page. Because isn't that what that page is for? Like our past and upbringing, essentially?
The origins? No, I just thought the origins were just, that's our old shit. Like, that's our old, not old shit, but that's our old videos. Like if you want to see where we started, go to the FCTV Origins. But the new stuff is for the Food Chains FCTV page.
Okay. Well, no, I thought you might have put these in there off the strength that, like, because it's the Origins, it's, like, about us specifically. And
well, not necessarily. But
well, no, that's fine. That's fine. That's just me overthinking the situation. But, yeah, man, that's all from me. I mean, if you don't have anything else for me.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for coming in.
All right.
I have been Mick Whoopi Goldberg, as per usual, and I want to thank...
It's your boy, Snapple Grapple FC. Nah, man, thank you thank you, seriously. Thank you for having me on here. It feels so crazy being on the other side of this now. Like, normally, I'm here and I'm talking to somebody and I'm asking them the questions about how they're feeling. You know, I'm talking to Jam Shake. We've had Carvin Chicken on for a couple special features recently. Even back when we did Infinity War and you were a special guest alongside Hungry Patient. It was like, damn. I'm over here asking everybody what they think and, you know, okay, what do you think about this and that? So to be on this side feels really good. It's like, wow, I get to explain some stuff.
Right, you get to...
But
it does feel good.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate all of you guys out there who take the time to tune into our channels and our videos, and we love you guys for real.
And this has been the Bottom of the Pit podcast, where we look to the moon and swap our palettes. And we will see you again on the next one.